Hey guys, Devin here with Admin Off-Road, and today we're going to be replacing some rear drive shaft U-joints. Let's get started. The first step will be removing the 4 bolts that hold the drive shaft onto the yoke. That's done with 4 8mm bolts. With all the bolts and the straps removed, now I can pull off the drive shaft from here and then pull straight back to take it completely out. The first step to removing the U-joints is to remove the clips that hold them in place. With the clips removed, now we can remove the U-joint from the drive shaft with a hammer. The next step will be to remove the cap with a set of pliers. And now we'll drive the U-joint back the other way to do the same to the other side. Once you've removed the second cap, you should be able to then remove the U-joint from the drive shaft. Now that we got the old U-joints out, we can go ahead and put in our new ones. I decided to go with the Spicer U-joints. Product number is on the bottom, 5-1310-1X. Comes with the U-joint, a bunch of different clips for whatever you're using it for, as well as a Zerk fitting because these are regreasable. When you're putting in the new U-joints, you want to be careful. There's a bunch of needle bearings inside of the caps. If you lose those, you won't be able to use the U-joint. Once you've pounded the caps into place, we can go in and install our clips so they won't move around. Next, we're going to install the other 2 caps and the Zerk fitting. This takes a 5/16 wrench. Now that we've got the U-joint assembled, we can grease it. Before you remove the U-joint, drive shafts are balanced together. So if you put it back the wrong way, you might get some vibrations. So to make sure I put it back the same way it came apart, I put an X on each side. That way when I put the X's together, the drive shaft will go together the same way it came apart, and we shouldn't have any vibrations. So in taking out the second U-joint, we ran into a little issue. You can only drive the cap out so far using the method that we used on the first U-joint. And the reason is, on the first U-joint, the U-joint isn't supported by anything. It's just attached on one side of the drive shaft. On this side, it's supported in two spots. It's got this side of the drive shaft and this side of the drive shaft. So if I just try and hit straight down on this while the U-joint is being held in place by this side of the drive shaft, it can't go anywhere. So the solution is to take a socket that is bigger than the cap of the U-joint, and it'll fit over it, and we're going to drive this side of the drive shaft down while the U-joint is held in place by this side, and we'll be able to pop the cap out. Now that we just have the one side of the drive shaft holding it on, we can go back to driving it through with our piece of pipe. And looking at the old U-joints, it was definitely time for them to be changed. A couple of the caps were completely missing all of their needle bearings, and some of the U-joints themselves were actually gouged by the needle bearings there. So these are definitely all dried out and no good anymore. Next step again is to reinstall our new U-joint. I'm going to remove all the caps first, just to make sure I don't lose any of the needle bearings. Feed it inside, and making sure I match up the marks that I made on the two sides of the drive shaft, so it'll go back the same way it came off. Just like with the other U-joint, now that we've got it assembled, we'll install the Zerk fitting and apply some grease. Alright, now the drive shaft is assembled, we're ready to put it back in the Jeep. The trick to installing the drive shaft is making sure everything lines up. You need to line this side up with the splines here, and then you have to make sure once this is lined up, the other side, the U-joint, will line up with the yoke. This might take you a couple tries. Now that we've got the drive shaft all lined up, we can go ahead and reinstall our hardware and secure it in place. It's always a good idea to use a little bit of Loctite. If you can't quite get this all to line up, you've got the splines on this side and it's just a tiny little bit off, maybe you're in between splines of adjustment, put somebody inside of the Jeep, get a buddy in the Jeep, make sure you're on level floor. You can take the parking brake off and then you can push the Jeep forwards or backwards just a little bit. That will turn the gears inside of here, turn your yoke just enough for you to line it up, and then you can go ahead and secure it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. Last step is to go take your Jeep for a test drive and enjoy the nice smooth ride on your brand new U-joints. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. And if you like what you saw here, please like and subscribe. If you want to see how to take apart your Dana 30, go ahead and click over here. And if you want to know how to install some super bright LEDs in place of your stock internal lights, click over here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.